And we're live. And it's movie time, and we're back again with Movie Time. Hey, everyone. I'm your host, Jason. Welcome to Season 6 of Movie Time. And with me, of course, is my co-host, Olaf. Hey, Olaf. How you doing?
I am doing just fantastic. It's been another lovely day in the great state of Indiana. And, it's been so long since I've talked to you. It's been a whole year. The last time I talked to
I
you was in
know.
2017, and now it's 2018, and our first show of season 6. I'm so excited.
Yep, it's our first of many shows this season, and we get to launch with like the most awesomest guest. It's like the one that a lot of people have said, "Hey, where is he? And why can't we have him back again?" Well, now we do get to have him back again. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest, Corky Kessler. Hey, Corky, how you doing?
I am doing great, and thank you for having me on your show again. I guess I didn't do too bad the first time.
No, it's like no, you didn't. You did good the first time, so we let you come back again.
Yep. And it's like for all those who it's like want a little bit of catch up. It's like that last time that we spoke, we were just before our AFM, and now in our new year, you're just about heading to Sundance.
Yes, I am. I leave tomorrow, and I'm going to be speaking 4 times during Sundance, and I happen to host 2 great parties there that are big industry parties.
Very cool. So tell me a little bit also about some of the panels that are coming up on Sundance.
All right. First of all, this is my 21st year of speaking during Sundance. And on Sunday of Sundance, I have spoken at what's called the Black House. That's where African-American filmmakers go and congregate during Sundance, and they have panels. On Sunday night, I host a Chicago food party at the house that I rent. I fly pizzas out and hot dogs, and Mars sends all this chocolate out.
Nice.
On Monday morning, we do a panel with great industry people called Legal and Business Pitfalls, Screenplay through Distribution, and the panel's free. And we have people that are on the waiting list. We have over 120 people coming to Utah Film Studio. But if any of your listeners are going to be at Sundance and want to go, it's at 9:30 on Monday. They should contact me. My cell is 312-925-2110. And then on Monday night, I host a big industry party that's catered at our house. And then on Tuesday morning, I moderate 2 women in film panels, which are going to be very exciting because we're going to get into the topic of the abuse that women have suffered. And then Tuesday night, we have a big distributor party. And on Wednesday, I teach film students from Nashville. And then I come home Thursday.
Very cool. It's like, yeah, so it sounds like it's going to be a very huge event. And so can you preview for us just a little bit about some of the things that are some major pitfalls that have come up in the time period?
Well. First of all, I think we should start out with what is going to be a great gift that the government gave to filmmakers, people in television and theater at the beginning of this year. I think your listeners have had me talk about the federal incentives under Section 181.
Yes.
Well, that has been gone since the end of 2016. So there's been none in 2017. But at the end of 2017, to begin this year and go to the end of 2022, there's an incentive whereby film, television, and theater was added to the section on bonus depreciation. And what that means is when a film is released in that year and there's no rules or regs yet, so there's no definition for what it means to be released. I guess you could show it anywhere. And a television show first airs in that year, or a theater project first opens. At the end of the year, the investors get 100% depreciation. That means 100% loss. They have their entire investment covered. But it takes the release of the movie, but that shouldn't be very difficult. And that's a great incentive, but you have to have 75% of your service wages paid and performed in the United States. But you've got 25% that can be done in any country in the entire world. The other advantage is that under the old Section 199 of the Jobs Creation Act, people on taxable income that came back for film and television got a 9% discount in the past. So if I returned $1 to you that was taxable, you paid tax on 91 cents. Now, under 199 capital A, it is 20%. So if I return $1 to you, you pay tax on 80 cents. So that's a great benefit. And also, there are certain limitations on the maximum that you can get discounted, and that's why you have to speak to a very well-educated accountant to lead you through that. But those are two great incentives that are going to run till the end of 2022, and I'm going to first speak about it live. Well, I'm first speaking about it live here, but live where people can see me at Sundance. Wait, I can't hear you. Now, your sound is off.
Oh, no. It's like my... Okay, there we go.
Okay.
So what it's actually meaning to the industry then is that there's going to be, with this new 199 and the other incentive as well, what it does is it changes the playing field and actually gives advantages to investors in a lot of ways that 181 did.
Yeah, you see, the difference between 181 is 181, it was triggered on spending. In the year you spent it. It didn't have to be released. This one, you have to have it released.
Okay.
But it could be on YouTube. It could be, you could rent a theater. Ways we can make it released, but it's going to be a present to all the sales reps and the distributors because they can guarantee you a release. So it mostly benefits them.
Oh, and it does definitely also benefit as well. Does it end trail then down to the investor?
Yeah. So let's say your investors put $1 million into your movie.
Yes.
And let's say they put the $1 million into 2018, and you spent it and you shot your movie. Let's say in the beginning of 2019, you first showed your movie.
Yes.
Tax return at the end of 2019, all your investors had 100% loss.
Okay.
So you cover their entire investment.
Okay, so they can basically have it as a write-off on that particular part of the investment once it's released, though.
Right.
And whatever that medium is.
Right.
Is there going to be any restrictions that you know of that it's going to be happening with that, whether it's theatrical or?
No, and there's no dollar limit. It could be $100 million movie. In 181, it was a $15 or $20 million limit for the expense. This could be any amount.
Okay, so that's huge because industry-wise, a lot of people are worried about, okay, well, if I do this, how do I, and this doesn't wind up being as successful. Now, another thing that, because also with the 5-to-1 ratio as well, that's now changing then that level playing field.
Yeah, and look, there are still 39 states in the United States that have state incentives. The two I talked about were federal incentives. So
Yes.
there are quite a few states that give money back just by spending in those states. And so when people come to me to be their attorney, we do state shopping. What state or states could you best shoot your movie in, and where can we get the best incentives so we can return actual money to the investors at the end of our spend?
Well, which makes a lot of sense because a lot of people want to maximize their state tax credit as well as their federal tax credit.
Right. So as you know, that I've been very blessed because at the end of 2016, no, at the end of 2016, I was voted as the best entertainment lawyer in the United States.
Yes.
And that was something I'm very proud of.
It's something to be very proud of.
Yeah. So, and then, uh, so I have so much to do during Sundance. So it's important that any of the people that are listening, if they're at Sundance or they're going to Sundance, to contact me at 312-925-2110. And I will make sure that they are taken care of.
Yep. What also, though, that will this do with the SEC regulations? Is it going to affect that at all in terms of that both 168 and 199? It's like, will that change that platform as well? Because then more people can become accredited investors, knowing that there is that whole.
Well, okay. So I believe, regardless of your budget, that people should only get money from people who are accredited investors, people who can risk losing the dollars. Although in the legality, you can have up to 35 non-accredited, but I believe that you should be very careful and take money from those that are accredited. And when you talk about an individual, if the individual has earned 200,000 or more in the preceding 2 years and expects to earn the same in the current year of the investment, a joint investment is 300,000, or they have $1 million of assets excluding their home. Then
Okay.
to be accredited investors.
So that it gives them the disposable income by which to be able to do that and to set up their PPM documents.
A private placement memorandum?
Yes.
If you're going to have any unaccredited investors, you should have a private placement memorandum to protect them. But if all your investors are accredited, you really do not need a private placement memorandum. You save a lot of money.
Okay.
Some technical investors still want you to do a private placement memorandum to give more authority and explain more, and that's a different story. But legally, you don't need to do a private placement memorandum if you have all accredited investors. A lot of my clients still want that because it gives them added protection, but it also adds a significant amount in the legal fees. But if you have a private placement memorandum, your investors really believe you're much more sophisticated in moving forward on your film.
It also adds an extra level of professionalism in terms of that you're actually serious about the deal as well on both sides. Because if they don't want to sign a PPM or don't want to have that, then
right. And you have to make sure that your team is a team of quality people who are all credible. and has no separate agenda. Because if anybody on your team has a separate agenda, and the agenda should be the film, if anyone has a separate agenda, they should be cut out of the team. It's a cancer.
Yes. It's like, so each person should have a contributing factor towards the film.
Right. So, are there any questions that any of your listeners have?
Well, one of the questions that were brought up was with regards to a little bit about the tax incentive. From what I'm noticing that people are asking, it's like it's a little bit confusing for them of understanding the difference between what the government gives you federally and what the government gives you state-wise.
Okay, federally, it's the bonus depreciation. It's 100% loss in the tax year in which the film is first released. Federal, that's federal.
Yes.
And the state incentives can be added to the federal. They are conjunctive, not disjunctive. And you can add the state incentives. So, for example, if you filmed in Illinois, we have a 30% transferable tax credit, which Chase buys, and it's a state tax, and the investor in the production company gets about 91 cents per dollar. In the state of Louisiana, it's 35%. In Georgia, it's 30 to 35%. In New York, it's 30 to 35%. So there are a lot of states that actually give money for spending.
Now, do the states actually, so the twains don't meet in terms of that? They don't take the federal minus the state or the state minus the federal?
No, they can do both.
Okay. That was one of the questions that they were asking. It's like this one deduct the other.
One is money coming back. The state incentives gives money for spending. The federal incentives give you at the same time a loss, 100% loss for the investors are made whole in the year that the film is first released.
So also in terms of studios, are they using these losses in order to also be able to gain back for possibly putting forth other projects?
Pardon?
Are they using these the 168 and 199 to be able to kick back so that they can actually then regenerate those funds into a different production?
Well, that's not why they did do that.
I understand that.
Because a film that's filmed in any location has a positive effect in over 15 businesses in that location. And it's a jobs bill. Okay. The movie hires over 300 people,
yes,
and positively affects 15 businesses, from the hotels to the laundries to the rentals to the catering, to 15 businesses.
Yeah, definitely it affects
so that's
a
why.
lot.
The federal government really does it because it's a jobs bill. They know that a film creates jobs, television creates jobs, theater creates jobs.
So they're making it easier to have the job creation by saying, like, okay, we're giving you something as an incentive to be able to hire more people, create more film.
And it puts us in competition with these other countries.
Yes. And one of the things that we had talked about is, let's go against other countries. Now with these new bills, they are putting us in competition. A lot of people for a lot of years thought Canada had a huge, majorly interesting tax credit.
Well, if you let's take Manitoba, province of Manitoba. Your first movie that you do there, you get 45% back. Your second movie, you get 50, and the third movie, you get 55.
Okay.
And you save about 20% on
The exchange.
The dollar. So they're really clamoring, but Canada itself, a lot of the provinces have very little incentives, very low, and people go there because of the value of the dollar. You get a 20% advantage because our dollar is strong there.
Yes. It really does come out dollar-wise, but tax credit-wise, it's better for the...
Look, we weigh it. Is it better to go... Well, listen, under the federal incentives, we could spend 25% in Canada.
Ah.
We could spend 25% in any foreign country we want and still qualify for our incentive.
Very cool. So it allows also for also a better wise in terms of... Now, I've always wondered one question, and I have to say that it's been not only my question, but other people's questions. In Canada, we do co-production treaties. In other countries, they do co-production treaties. Why doesn't the States have co-production treaties with other countries?
Okay. We in the United States are not part of the treaties that the foreign countries have banded together to be part of. And they formed their treaties amongst themselves at a time where in the United States we had Hollywood. And that was their competing with what we had. We don't have Hollywood anymore. Studios aren't funding movies.
Correct.
They co-fund very few movies, so it's all the independent filmmakers. So what happens now is the reason for the treaty among all these foreign countries to compete against Hollywood no longer exists. But then they come and say, well, yeah, but we don't have an association or an organization that we can do an agreement with to be part of our treaties. There's no large enough group of people that have formed an association where we can go to Canada and form a treaty. But Canada is the only country, and I think England is going to be a second country, that will allow co-treaty between the United States.
Yeah, it's like I've seen a three-way between the co-treaties, but it's like I've often, like I said, that was a very interesting question that I often wondered, because it's like the United States is part of NATO, and they're part of the, all of that. So it's like I never understood why there wasn't ever a bridge that happened.
At the Cannes Film Festival, 4 years ago, they have a huge tent on the beach at Cannes where it's called Producers Breakfast, and there are several round tables of 10 people at each table, and there's a different subject matter discussed at each table. And producers can sign up for whatever table there's still space at. So I go there, and it's the only time that I've gone to one of the breakfasts, and the only table that had space was global financing. I figured, okay, that's good. I was the only one from the United States. There was Guam, there was Northern Ireland, there was Germany, there was all these foreign countries. And the moderator went around and talked about the treaties, and everyone talked about how they can join their incentives and co-production. Guam, co-production with Spain, co-production with Ireland, Spain, Germany, all these on one movie. And nothing was said about the United States. Not a word about the United States.
Wow.
Okay, so now I'm the last person that they bring the conversation to. Well, Corky, what do you have to say? Here's what I have to say. We have an incentive, a federal incentive in the United States that allows 25% to be spent in any one of your countries, and anybody sitting around the table. And I said, go F yourself. And I walked out.
Wow. Because it's like, yeah, if you're going to
I mean, we were sensitive enough to allow 25, and still 25%. Go spend it.
Yeah.
Outside of the United States.
Yeah. Another thing that also it's like with the industry, because it's like with Canada, they also ask for a lot of CanCon content with regards to that. It's like one of the nice things is in the States, it has to be a good story.
Pardon?
In Canada, in order to get a lot of films done, they do CanCon content, which means like as in it has to have Canadian content or a Canadian theme that goes through the story. And they have.
They do, but that's when you get government money.
Correct.
When you get from the different organizations that are branches that give money. But if I have a movie and we want to spend 25% in Canada, that doesn't matter.
Exactly.
We'll go and get money.
Yeah. Through raise it through the equity of the
Canada is one of the countries that a lot of their movies are only Canadian content.
Yeah,
that doesn't fly very well in the United States all the time.
Well, it also doesn't fly very well in the industry, which is something that it's like there's a huge movement in film right now that's trying to change that in terms of. It's like, yes, every country would love to be able to honor their own country in terms of that, but it's like there comes a point of becoming commercially viable. If you cannot scream at one point, I want to be an industry, and then at the same point, but I only want to make stories that have content of my own country.
Well, that's their choice.
Yeah.
Okay. But look, Canada has benefits.
Yes.
England has benefit.
Yes.
In fact, France has got 25% incentive. People spend 25% in France and get advantage of their incentive also.
Yeah, but in the States has got a wonderful incentive now going both federally and state-wise.
Right. So I hate to cut this short, but I have to go and
yes.
Yes. But I want all your listeners to know that one, you're a champion to do this for them. And they should thank you and thank you and thank you and your partners for giving them people that give the advice that they give. And you get people on that are smart, with my exception. Okay, but
are you kidding me? It's like you're brilliant. Okay, and so, I can't wait to have you back again after Sundance and be able to hear everything.
And I'd be happy to help any one of your listeners at any point in time, because they should get their team built around respectable people. Right now, at 8:30 Chicago time, I still have credibility in the business. So you don't know what's going to happen at 9 or 9:30 or 10. But right now, I have still credibility. So get the credibility that I have.
It's like take advantage of it while you still have it. Is that what you're? That's what you're saying? It's okay.
Right. All right. So everyone, have a great evening. And I love talking. And when I'm coming back, I'll be back in the office a week from Monday. But if you want me to chat any night that I'm at Sundance, let's try and do it.
Sounds
sounds give wonderful. A Sundance report.
Yes, I would love to do a Sundance report over that time period, and I look forward to seeing you on those panels too, and hopefully snag me some coverage there.
Well, yeah. So let's do that. Let's try and do that. I might bring my laptop, and let's see what we can do. But keep me posted, okay?
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
That was awesome.
That was. It's like an extremely informative. It's like for all of you who didn't have a chance to ask you questions, absolutely go ahead and ask your questions. Corky will answer them. And it's like, oh my gosh, Olaf, we have got like what, a year, huh?
Oh yeah, it's like I was just I didn't really, of course, I didn't jump in too much because it was just what he was saying was so interesting. I was like, wow, I didn't want to interrupt it.
Yes. It's like we've got this amazing diversity and like these tax incentives that are like out of this world. And oh my gosh. And like I said, the information that we just got in like that compacted 30 minutes is like, whoa.
Well, I mean, that's huge that the now that you have the federal, that you get to take and you write off the whole thing.
Yes.
That's just huge.
Well, you know what? It'll also bring back some
for the
money
investors,
to the table.
it's like for
Absolutely.
investors and there, it's like for the whole. Well, I guess I guess it's a game changer for the industry.
It
because
is.
now that they have with that kind of a federal incentive, you know, investors are more likely to, actually put their money into film.
Yep.
Like okay, as soon as it's released, I get to write off the year it's released 100% of what I invested. So yeah.
Yeah, which is huge to a lot of people because a lot of people shied away from the industry for a number of years for exactly that.
Right.
And yes, 181 was wonderful, and it's like it was on the spend, but this is actually quite a better advantage to them because then once it's released, and released means any way to release it. I put it up as a YouTube video, as he said. I throw it on to Vimeo for somebody, and
right.
Suddenly it gets suddenly there's like exposure for as long as eyeballs have seen it.
Right.
Put it up for sale on Amazon and have your investor be able to
right. I mean, yeah, that's that just like I said, that's a game changer. In other words, instead of like, oh, it has to be, seen in a movie theater and then you'll get your credit. But, now it's like, okay, we put, like you say, YouTube, Vimeo, wherever you want to put it out, release it. Once it's released to the public and the public can see it, it's like, okay, there you go. You get your incentive.
Yep. And another thing that it also is doing is bringing forth credibility to newer filmmakers as well, because they can say, well, look, I had somebody who invested in this film and, they got back, their return on investment.
Right. Well, like I said, I mean, being able to
the positive ROI.
Oh yeah, being able to release your film on YouTube, and your investor be able to get credit, be able to get the write off for it or get their credit because of a YouTube film. In other words, even though whatever the film is, like I said, YouTube, that's just wow.
And that's exciting. It's like also, so let's clue them in also on some really cool things that are coming up for this season. We're going to be changing things up a little bit by also adding in a few people in the music industry that are coming on.
Cool.
Yes, it's like because we are an entertainment. It's like we don't only deal with machinima and film. We will be expanding also into the world of music as well, because a lot of people don't understand that part of the industry as well. We are actually going to be having an interview coming up with the gentleman from Quiet Riot, as well as also a few other people. There's a DJ that is going to be interviewing along with us.
Awesome.
So we're going to be having. So for those of you who are interested in the music scene, you might be learning something about that, and also music in film. So it'll be able to give you just a little bit more of a background for that. Also, we're going to have a few actors that are coming aboard to interview with us this season.
But I'm already here.
I know. Perhaps we get to interview Olaf live.
It's like no pictures. No, it's
yeah, it's like the dynamic duo is back again.
Yes.
And
Oh, and it's like speaking of pictures, I will. Let's see if I can get this in right. For you all that haven't seen me for a while,
woohoo!
as you notice, the beard is a little bit longer than last year. Well, normally after I get done with my Santa duties, the beard comes off. But this year, I happen to be working outside all the time. And, some reason it's like having the beard when it's 5 degrees outside. I kind of like it because it keeps my face and my neck warm.
Oh yeah, it's like that extra layer of protection.
Yep.
Well, it's like also another cool thing that we're going to be having on this year is we have a few animators for comic books and stuff that are coming on board also to come and interview with us.
Nice.
Yes, including we are having a major legend that will soon be joining us. And he is worked with Jack Kirby, with the Marvel Universe. He's worked with the DC Universe. So, I mean, really, you're talking about a huge, huge legend.
And who might can we are we allowed to
John
say?
Sennett.
Ah.
And so watch out for that interview. It's coming up over our season. So once again, we are going to start coming back slowly into our Wednesdays and Friday sessions. We're easing you back in for the new year. Easing just like Sunday morning.
Right.
But for all the good things. So it's like we're also going to have a few people on who deal with gaming in the industry. So we're going to have a very diverse year coming up.
So there's going to be some game playing. All right.
Indeed, gameplay, a couple of cosplayers, and once again, by the way, we are going to be over at VisionCon, so you guys don't want to miss VisionCon, where we will be once again recording live from VisionCon.
Cool.
Yes, it's like I'm looking forward to doing press with them. It's like I believe it is going to be for February, and that we are going to be doing press once again for VisionCon.
Sure, that's a we.
Yes, that would be a we. The voice in the background is the cuteness of the husband, who is my otherwise known as the camera operator. It's like, and so yes, it's like we are going to be live again at VisionCon. We're just sealing up the detailed information. So if you're in Branson, absolutely pop in, and that's Branson, Missouri, for all of those people. Now, it's not Rhode Island. It's not as big, but it is quite big. So don't fool yourselves. It's like there are people there who it's like they're really, really great. And it gets bigger and bigger each and every year. So
that's how it does. It starts out small and just keeps growing popularity, and more people find out about it, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's a good thing.
Yeah. Any Walker Stalkers coming up?
Oh yeah, they got quite a few. It's like they're coming up. It's like but I'm not sure. Probably. Let's see. Got probably Walker Stalker. Probably hit Chicago. That's in April.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget now. I can't remember when Nashville is. It's like I probably hit that one. And I'm gonna try to make Atlanta this year.
Nice.
It's like I would have gone to Atlanta last year, but
there was a there was a masquerade.
It's like I was in Chicago.
Yes.
For a movie thing. Masquerade ball.
We got to be all part of a masquerade, and yes, we'll be looking to that this year again.
Yeah, so hopefully it won't wind up on the same weekend as Walker Stalker.
Yeah, we'll try and avoid the whole Walker Stalker weekend.
Well, it's like Walker Stalker Atlanta. That's the big show of the year. It's like the juggernaut of the years.
Yes.
because most of them are 2-day conventions,
Yeah.
and Atlanta is a 3-day, and it's just huge.
Yes.
It rivals Dragon Con because
Okay.
the attendance. Of course, I wasn't there last year, but the year before. In other words, I mean they draw like 70,000.
Alrighty.
So
So the size of Rhode Island Comic Con.
yeah, it's like they draw like 70, 60 to 70, 65, 70,000. And I don't know, I didn't hear what last year's was, but it was at least, probably at least that, and could have grown a little bit more. I don't know.
Wow. So it sounds like it's going to be quite a good time to be had.
Yes. And to think, the very first one they had an attendance of 10,000 people.
Yep. And for all of you who are just wondering, it's like Arpo has started his education.
So he's trying.
There you go.
They're trying to teach him something, huh?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's like he has gone on to there and does say hi to all of our Movie Time fans. It's like I'm pretty sure that he misses being with us, but that's okay because the dynamic duo is going to be dealing with a whole bunch of interviews.
Right.
Another thing that is also going to be happening, of course, is getting our distributors to talk with us and other people as well in the industry. So we'll be teaching and telling you all about the latest, greatest, and so much more. And this year, I'm also hoping to kind of convince agents to get on the phone with us.
That would be cool.
And talk about some of the casting duties and what are they looking for in casting. So give you some insider information on that. So we are not going to be without this year.
It's going to be an exciting, fun-filled year.
It is. And including also all in between all of that, we can formally announce there will be a movie to be being made. In between.
So there may be some gaps in the shows because of conflicts.
Filming.
It's like conflicts in the shooting schedule.
Yes, but we will make it up to you, people of the audience. We do assure you. That's what it's like. We'll be sure to get you some fascinating and interesting people that will keep you more than entertained. And absolutely, you can watch our last 5 seasons as well.
Right. And who knows? You might be able to, from the movie that's being shot, we might be able to get an interview with the set decorator.
I know. Gosh, I really hope so. I'd love to know what set decking is like.
Yeah, so would I.
Oh, come on. It's like, what? You don't have an in with him?
Well, it's like, I know him. I know the set deck pretty well, and pretty nice guy. But I think I could probably get him to come on and talk about it.
Yeah,
what it is.
Yep, finagle the director.
Possibly, yeah. And it'd be kind of hard to do, but I think I can do that.
Yeah, I know. It's like all the craziness that happens. But yep, folks, you're going to get a chance to have a really diverse season. And we may even have some guest hosts that come in with us. Like, for example, on our show that we are having the musicians, we are having Catherine Beamish come with us onto our show as well to come and guest host with us.
Cool.
Yeah, you'll get to see Kathy and enjoy that time as well. So just when you thought that it was safe to turn us off, movie timers, we're back.
Just when you thought it was safe to turn off the video, it's like the live streaming video. Ha
ha. So that said, has anything changed? So how do they get you in touch with you in social media?
You can stalk me on both Facebook and Twitter at Olaf Barbosa. But as I said, it's like don't stalk too close because I do get nervous and I do have an itchy trigger finger.
And just before I let you know, also we wanted to let you know, folks, we also have a brand new theme for Movie Time. So come to our website and come and listen to it. We have a brand new, and it was done by a wonderful artist named Nathaniel. And I'm sure you're going to be hearing a lot of this stuff coming out.
Cool.
So, and you can stalk me through Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Visipedia, at Sonata Grayson, at Movie Time Indie, and with 4 pages of footprint. If you can't find me, you're just not stalking me hard enough. So, with that being said, we will be seeing you on Wednesday for Movie Time.
Thanks for listening.
Take care.